We're back. All right,
Matt, can you get in the frame?
Am I not in the frame? How am I not in the frame?
All right. Oh my goodness. We're back. We're here. The ForeBros podcast. Look at this. You got myself, you got Brian, and you got Matty J here. ForeBros podcast. Wow, it has been a moment. It's been a minute. It's been about 6 months, actually. But we're here. The ForeBros podcast is here. Episode 21 is here. And we are so great to be back. It has been a long, long time coming, but we are finally here, ready to go again, ready to shell out more podcast episodes to you guys. So thank you for hanging in there. There has been a lot of you for over the last 6 months. That's like, when's the podcast coming? When's the podcast coming? And we kind of had an idea of when we were coming back, but now is the time. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. However, you are enjoying this ForeBros podcast today. And so we just want to jump right in. We want to get into kind of what's been going on, what's happening, kind of update you guys on some things, and then kind of share some other stuff with you along the way. So the big question is, over the last 6 months, not only do people have they been asking us, when's the podcast coming back? When's the podcast coming back? Some people have genuinely been asking, what happened to you guys? Like, what is going on? So I'm going to tell you this. Life has been going on, and I think I can speak for all of the guys, or the two that are with me here.
Amen.
Life has been happening. Andy's not here. He's got some things that he's had planned, so he'll be back on the podcast. And we'll get into that in a minute. But so really what has happened is I think kind of right towards our one of our last episodes, I guess all the way back in October, was I was fixing to have a pretty major knee surgery. And I've had the surgery and we're doing well. We're walking again. We're actually playing golf again. So life is doing well. We're back to beating Brian on the golf course. So life could not be any more perfect than what it is right now. And so, and speaking of Brian, about a week or two before my knee surgery, his wife, Crystal, had a knee surgery, a whole knee replacement. And so, and then, so we were dealing with that, and then we were dealing with me, and there was just so much going on, and it was, I don't know. I mean, I know how I felt for not being able to walk for 7 weeks. I didn't work. I didn't even preach for 7 weeks. And shout out to my church, by the way, for holding that down. I really appreciate them. But I know how I felt. But for your guys' perspective, Brian as a friend, and then even more so as a husband to Crystal, watching her go through that, and then Matt just kind of seeing it all out there. I don't know. What were y'all's thoughts on all of that as far as what was happening to all of us?
It was a lot more than we bargained for. The knee replacement surgery is, you see a lot of folks, especially older folks, that have them done, and it's relatively easy, and they're kind of back to normal within, a couple of months. And, a lot of the local folks may remember that Crystal was in a really bad car accident about 20 years ago, and she ended up having a lot of different injuries, but she had a rod placed in her femur. And so when they go to do this knee replacement, they're like, oh, by the way, we got to take the rod out. Let me just caution you ahead of time, do not go and YouTube femur rod removal, like femoral rod removal. Just don't do it. It is like the most gruesome thing you've ever seen in your life. And for those that know her, you know how tiny she is. So they banged her up just insanely on the operating table, and she just it's been a long process. I stayed home for almost 4 weeks, just trying to take care of her and be there with her, and she wasn't progressing like she needed to. And of course, in terms of the podcast, like all of this stuff just like immediately took a back seat. I mean, it wasn't even an option. Like, and people that do content and stuff, like, I mean, the podcast didn't it like too arduous when it comes to creativity. Like we can put one together pretty quick and get on here and just kind of, you know, kick it back and forth, but you still have to spend some time on it, and we just didn't have it. And
Yeah.
from there, it just, you know, then you get into the holidays and all that kind of stuff, and you start just looking forward, and you know, when are we going to be able to get back to it? Are we even going to be able to get back to it? We felt like we would be able to, and that's why we're here. But it's been tough, man. And that one thing I learned with, you know, us having the podcast and trying to do golf content and stuff like that in the past, like I have so much respect for those YouTubers and those folks that are pumping out content, because man, it takes a lot of work, right? And then if life
Mhm.
happens, like how do you keep it going, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's been a challenge for us, but we are back, and we're
Heck yeah.
ready to roll.
Yeah. Yeah. Matty J. Well, Matty J's kind of just always been he's been the constant, my boy. You know, he's
Dude, I'm
He
just here,
just
man.
he just logs
I'm
in and
here.
waits on us to come on here. I mean,
yeah,
it's,
yeah.
Yeah,
He's just
I've been doing that literally for 6 months. Like I sit here on Monday
we
night
just
chilling.
showed up tonight.
All right, they're
yeah,
not coming. All right, I'll close it down and go. No,
yeah,
it's been interesting. Like I mean, because y'all said it best. We've been so busy. I mean, and it seems like they used to tell you as you get older, time gets faster, and you used to think like, yeah, okay, it's the same time. It really does get faster, and like it's hard to believe that we're already in April of 2025. I mean, things have been crazy, and even though we've not had major surgeries going on, we've had a lot of ups and downs just in our family, and especially in just recent days, just our immediate family. Just, not necessarily any highs. We've just been rocking some valleys. And so it's been a journey. But we're back and we're here. We're ready to rock and roll.
heck
Bro,
yeah. And
I turned 40 since the last podcast.
yeah, he's old, man. He's so
That's how
old.
fast time's flying.
Dude, I thought you were like 47. Good Lord.
Stop.
Okay.
Whatever, man.
And for the record, though, for the record, I want people to know that, like, so the surgeries both happened in October, like beginning middle of October. And then then you run into November, Thanksgiving. Then the
Hmm.
kids are out of school come December. Then you have Christmas. Then you have New Year's, and then you're trying to get them back to school in January. And then it was, well, Brandon did not pick up a golf club until what, middle of March. So
Mhm.
this whole idea of like bringing the podcast back, and some other things that we'll talk about later. Like, we didn't really start fully discussing it until March,
Yeah,
until
Yeah.
like just a month ago.
yeah.
And then it was like, all right, we really need to get back into doing this, because I mean, even for me, there was a time like I knew my surgery was going to be big, but then after about the first like 3 months, I was like, will I ever play golf again? Like, I'm sitting there, I'm still in all the group chats and stuff, and I'm sitting there and just talking and just hearing about all of y'all being able to play golf and all this stuff. And I'm like, this, I'm sitting at home and I'm like, this is terrible. I
Yeah.
want to, be there. I want to be out there. But I'm glad that we're all back. And, so we got, just a lot of stuff on the horizon that is waiting. So we're glad to be back though. And the plan is to keep rocking with these podcasts and just doing what we love, which is trying to, and because I don't know about y'all. Well, I think, I've talked to Brian and Matt. I'm sure it's happened to you too, but I had a lot of people, more than I thought, that listen to the podcast
Hmm.
would see me and be like, hey, when's the next podcast coming out? When's the next
Yeah.
podcast coming out?
Hey,
And
we
I was
have
like,
more listeners than subscribers. That
Yeah.
oh, by
has to be
far.
true.
Oh,
So
it's gotta be.
if you are a listener, just hit the little subscribe button. Help us
Yeah.
out.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
But
because I just, all the people that I heard that were like, "When's the next podcast coming out? When's it coming out?" I was like, I didn't know this many people listened to what we had to say for an hour. Like, I didn't think that many people paid attention. But and again, we got a whole year ahead of us of some good stuff we're going to bring up. But just really, that's kind of what we've been up to. Just busy and just life and just a whole lot of crazy other things. Is there anything that I'm missing that we've been up to that is, I mean, other than just busyness and life in general?
we have still been playing golf. We've
Yeah,
been
well,
pretty consistent playing golf week in and week out. You know, we
yeah.
obviously play here in Cairo quite a bit. We've been over to where do we go? Crooked Oak
Crooked
over
Oak.
in
Mhm.
Colquitt.
Yep.
We had a couple of weather Wednesdays, whether it was just too cold or raining or whatever. But
Oh, hey, hold on, hold on.
mhm.
You know, this is, I didn't mean to cut you off, but you know, not only have you turned 40 since our last episode, you know what else has happened since the last episode? It
What's that?
snowed in Cairo.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
did.
dude.
It
Yeah,
snowed in Cairo since the last episode.
it
Is that not just
absolutely
wild
did.
to think about that? I mean, Ron, you lived in Cairo your entire life, and was
Yeah,
that
Well,
was
7
that a
years
first
worth.
for you?
that's the second time. I remember, I think it was like 1993 or something like. But
Oh, no.
it was nothing close to what we got this year. I remember it snowed like back in 1993, or I think that was the year. It was early 90s, but I remember this because my mom put us me and my brother in the car to drive to my grandparents' house on the northern side of the county where it actually had snowed some, and she had a whole Caprice Classic. What that thing got turning sideways on the road, and she whipped it back around. We weren't even a mile from the house. We'd just gotten like right by. We lived right down the road from the hospital, and we were right beside the hospital. And she turned around and took us back home. We didn't even really get to see it. I mean, it did snow, but we didn't experience it. So, no, that was. I mean, I've been places obviously in snow, but for here, man, that was different, very
Yeah,
Mm.
much
yeah.
different.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get you off on that. But all right. But it has snowed, and it had just been a while. Like that's
Yeah,
crazy to me.
yeah.
Um, but we have been playing golf. We are back. We are playing, and with some golf that is coming back and this weather warming up, we have some new faces in the group.
Hmm.
Which those new faces have not only been on the golf course during the week, they will be on this podcast very very soon. So
Absolutely.
why don't
Yeah.
you tell us about your boy Oski?
Yeah, Mr. Blake Wisham. He's
Yeah.
another product of Cairo, Georgia. He's always been one of my very best friends, and he's gotten to a place where he's been playing some golf with us, and we have welcomed him arms wide open to the Four
Yeah.
Bros podcast. So you're going to see his face. He's going to bring some energy, and he's just a fun individual to hang out with and to be around. And we're looking forward to getting him on here. He is actually, at the time of this recording, he is on a cruise. The Sorry
Yeah.
Joker.
I know.
Um, so hope he's enjoying that. But yeah, we're gonna get him, and of course Andy and his crazy self will be back soon enough. But yeah, us five, actually, is it five of us? Yeah, five of us.
Five. Yeah.
And Coach Burt from Wiggum actually just took a trip to Jacksonville
Sure did.
to the players. We had been, some of you may remember the Olan content when me and Andy went down there and dominated Brandon and Matt for 2 years in a
All
row.
right. Okay.
And
Right. Mm.
we, we
Wow.
we would go to the Arnold Palmer each year, and this year we decided to switch it up, and we had uh, some dates mess up with what was it, D now weekend
D now. Yeah.
Hmm.
here in Grady County, and Matt's church was hosting, and we were all involved with that, so we decided to go to the players, and we had us just a good old time down there.
Yeah.
Did you have a
Well, that
good
was.
time, Brandon?
I had a great time. I had a fantastic time. Our Airbnb had a ping pong table and dominated. We had a ping pong tournament there, the Airbnb, and I just absolutely dominated the entire house. Came in first place. That's what you were talking about, right? You were talking about ping pong.
Brandon, so we'll get to ping pong in a minute. We do
Okay.
need to discuss that because I mean that's something that people can let us know about, because this is
100%.
the least regulation. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and get into it now that you want to bring it up. Okay,
Okay. All
so
right.
we had six people. So it was me, Brandon, Matt, Andy, and Blake and Adam. Okay,
Yep.
round robin. Everybody had to play everybody. We seeded out a double elimination tournament or single elimination. I don't even remember. It was
Double. No, it was
insane.
double. It was double. It was
Double
double.
elimination.
Yeah.
Comes down to me and Brandon. I got to beat him twice. Okay. So the setup at this house, the ping pong table was on the back porch essentially. And
A
so
screened in back porch.
screen in back porch. So
Yep.
on the side of the table that I was on to my forehand side, I literally have the wall of the house like 2 feet from the edge of the table. Brandon's forehand side, he's got from his forehand to California available. So obviously he is just wearing me out on the forehand side, and so much so that one time he gets to the edge of the table, and I'm going after it and just jam my wrist into the side of the house. I mean, it was just absolutely insane. But this is all the people need to know about it is if we had put the table in the garage, which literally would have been like the Wimbledon of ping pong, I would have pasted him, and he would not have won that tournament,
No, but
hands down.
the small bit of information that Brian is leaving out is when we were in the round robin stuff. It was you played rock paper scissors, and the winner of rock paper scissors got to pick what side they're on. Brian lost rock paper scissors
Every
almost, I think,
time,
every time, and
every
so
single time.
he was stuck on that bad side. So guys like me and Adam and anybody that played Brian would put him on that bad side because, if you're a good forehand hitter, like you don't want to be caught up on the wall. And then at one point when we were in that championship match, when it was a constant, I kept hitting to that forehand of his. Like I kept going as far left as I could just to see how far Brian would end up chasing it. And it got to a point where he literally smacked into the wall. But the funniest part about all of that was the next morning when we're leaving the Airbnb, his face of just pure disgust as he checked every room to make sure everybody had their stuff. And he literally walks into the garage and sees this, not a car. There
There's
wasn't even a broom in
nothing.
there. There's
There's
nothing in.
nothing. There's not a speck of dirt anywhere. This place was they left out in the description of the Airbnb that hey, feel free to move the ping pong table into the garage for a more proper arena. Right.
Yeah,
I mean, it was I just shut the door. I was like, I'm out of here.
because
But
he walks out and he's like, "Did you see the size of that garage?" I was
it
like,
was
"No." He goes,
insane.
"Dude," he was like, "We should have played the ping pong tournament there." He goes, "I would have dominated." I was like, "Well, it's over
Absolutely.
now." I don't. Yeah, just
And how about Matt and Andy? Like,
that's what I was going to talk about.
I mean, both two of the worst ping pong players I've ever seen in my life, and they are hitting absolute
Whoa.
BB. No, listen, you
Yeah,
you
Whoa.
started
Whoa.
slow. You did start coming on towards the end. You and Andy got in this. I don't know what came over Andy, but he just started hitting laser. They both started just hitting lasers at each other.
they
We're
weren't even
on a
trying.
screen-in porch. Like the people that are watching, we're sitting 3 feet behind them, getting peppered with ping
Yeah.
pong balls.
Yes,
And I'm like, what
yes.
is happening here? Have we
So
lost sight
so
of the
what
tournament?
happened?
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened was we were out. He and I were just out kind of playing around before anything even got started, and I was just bullying him on the ping pong table. And then it just got to a point where I just started just trying to smash him as hard as I could at that point. And I think I caught him one time right in the sternum. And at that point, it was just all out war. And so
Dude,
Yeah, it
it just got
was.
to the point where he's like softball just teeing off on me, and I'm just kind of goofing around. First off, ping pong is brought to us by. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry. Uh, but no, so let's talk about the technicality on how I got out of the tournament.
Okay,
So
technicality. That was our famous word that week. Technicality.
no, no, it was
what
fun.
was
It was a
that?
fun
Like we
tournament.
messed up the bracket or something. It didn't matter. I was
Yeah,
running through it like a wet paper napkin anyway. I was coming out the loser's bracket regardless.
I basically me and you I think the match that put me out was me and you, Brian, and it ended up what were we playing to? What was the score that we were playing to?
We were
11.
just doing 11, yeah.
11. And
Yeah.
so me and you ended up going to like 15 or 16, I think, to finally get
Hmm.
that score. And then come to find out, I wasn't even supposed to be playing you. I was supposed to be playing Blake. And so that was the technicality that put me out.
What are you
See,
trying to
if I'd
say?
have
Like
played,
you would have beat
if
Blake?
I would have beat Blake. I mean, I've already beat him
But you
before
still
in
would have had to play
FMA.
me.
Yeah,
You
but
would have
see,
beat Blake to play me.
that's when I actually started trying, was when we got there to the end of it.
Oh,
What's so funny is like when you look at Andy, I mean, he's a big guy, he's tall, but even like he's got an athletic build.
yeah,
And you would think like he's decent. He is god awful at ping pong, but
terrible,
he
terrible.
swears that he is amazing on the
At
pickleball court.
pickleball,
And
yeah,
I know he's not here to defend himself,
it doesn't
but
matter.
brother,
I'm gonna talk trash to a ghost right now. You don't
yeah,
want it in pickleball.
yeah, yeah. Like brother, if you can't play on the small table, what makes you think if we expand it and make it any bigger that it's going to get better for you? Like,
It can be badminton, it can be tennis, it can be pickleball. It don't matter.
yeah,
What I
I
saw
just
down there in Jacksonville, I ain't afraid, not one bit, not
the
one bit.
hand eye coordination with a paddle was just not there from a boy. What
Maybe
was
it
so
was just
funny
too late for him. I don't know.
I don't know. What was so funny though too was how Matt and Andy met in the round robin because everybody was playing everybody, and it was just BB after BB. Well, then they somehow meet again in the tournament, and they do the same thing. And I'm sitting behind them as me, Brian, and Blake, and we're just getting drilled. And I was like, "What is happening? What are we
Like there's
doing?"
nothing to play for. I mean, it was just an assassin mentality.
It
I,
came into
I was
sting
trying to
pong.
find I was trying to find every chance I could to just absolutely smash it for the point. Though Andy was not trying to go for points.
No, he
Andy was
was
going
not
for my
trying to get a
throat.
point.
Is what
He was
he was
not trying to
trying
get
to
a point.
do.
No, he
I mean,
was trying to.
y'all play boring ping pong. It's just like back and forth, trying to work somebody to the wall. That's it. No, dude, you got to have it every so often where you have that just ka-pa-chow and make somebody eat that ping pong ball. Um,
I
so
mean,
that's what we tried to do.
I was playing with a chicken wing to my power side. I mean, I couldn't do a
Hey,
whole lot.
listen, y'all can
Hey,
talk about that wall all you want to. I was playing you towards that column the whole time. Cause see, I was
there was
playing
a
Oh,
column on the
left-handed.
other side.
the column
I
on
was
the
playing,
left side, just a random column, just in the. I mean,
yeah.
that was the worst place for a ping pong table. Definitely should have
I was
been in the
playing
garage.
left-handed. I was playing
When we
left-handed, and I was
first
working you that way. Is what I was doing.
Yeah.
So
When we first saw the house, we're like, "Oh my gosh, they got a ping pong table. It's gonna be great." And then Brian gets there, and he's like, "This is the worst ping pong table ever." So,
Terrible. I mean,
but
we cleaned the thing. I mean, it
we
was
did. Oh yeah, we
covered
had it
in
clean.
6 inches of pollen. Hey,
Yeah,
and
it was.
let me choose my words carefully here. But can we talk about the house and who might have lived there?
Oh, dude. Oh, 100%. 100%. I wish I had the picture. For people listening, you have to understand. We walked into this house. It was bad. It was yeah. I don't.
The
Man,
house itself was fine.
the house itself was fine. The furniture was bad. Like, and again, I don't think the host of the Airbnb is watching this, but it was like all the beds were on the floor, literally
yeah,
on the
Less than
floor.
6 inches off the floor.
yeah.
Yeah, and every chair, like couch, chair in the house, you were half cheeking. I mean, they were tiny.
100%.
Literally, I wish I had the picture. Brian went to lay down on this couch, and he's laying down. His head is on the far back of the couch, and his feet are
Flat on the
flat
floor.
on the floor, and he's laying on the entirety of the couch. Like, I don't know how you. I mean, when I say
What is
small,
it, like a chaise lounger at the end of the couch? You know how you sit up on it, right?
yeah,
And it's supposed to, like, your feet, like, I'm tall, my feet might hang off the end, but not bend at the knee and hit the floor. I mean,
yeah,
I'm flat
90
footed.
degrees. 90 degrees. Yeah. Yeah. And it was like even my dad, he showed up the one day and he's what, 5'8", 5'9", and he sat the first chair he sat in, his literal reaction, he went, "Whoa." And he's like, he just looked around. That's when you know it's bad.
Hey,
He's
what
sitting there,
got
he's like,
me,
"Whoa."
what really sold it for me, I mean, it was weird, right? But then you had stuff like the countertops were normal height, like
Yeah, yeah,
it was like trying to be normal, but it wasn't. But
yeah.
then on the front porch swing is
That
literally
thing was like pitch
2 inches
algebra.
off the ground. I mean, you no shot to sit and swing. I mean,
No.
it was on the ground, but it
But
was like it wasn't just sitting there. Like it was, hey, somebody set it at that height.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder. It's like if we sit in it, like, and there's any sag in the chain, are we just dragging the ground as we swing? It was yeah, it was weird, but yeah, there was some things that were like normal, like like you said, the kitchen counter. There was just things that were like super tiny, and it just didn't make sense. It didn't make
Yeah.
sense at all. But I will get to the point of the whole trip. We did go to the players. We'll get to that in a minute, but as you guys know, we can't go anywhere without it being a competition. And um, so we had, since there were six of us there, we had a 3v3 tournament, and it was
Mm,
Brian, Matt,
mm,
and Adam
mm,
versus myself, Blake, and Andy. And we had
mm,
a 3v3 death
mm.
match between Team Love and Team Hate. Brian and Matt and Adam, they sponsored Team Love, and we were me, Blake, and Andy. We were Team Hate because we were just hating on everybody and everything there. So, but we played at Eagle Harbor. Shout out to Eagle Harbor, super great course, super nice facilities there, right there in Fleming Island, and it was really cool layout how they had it. So, anyways, played 3v3. We played stroke play. Kind of threw a little twist into the match though, that each team had to use 6 drives per player on the team. So I had to take 6 drives of mine, Blake 6, Andy 6, same thing with the other team as well. And so that kind of played in some strategy there. And so I'll speak since there's no representation other than myself from Team Hate. We unfortunately did not come home with the win there. We played really, really well
Mm,
for the first 5 holes, 6
mm,
holes. And then it was like with every reward came a punishment. So like we'd make a birdie, the very next hole we'd bogey, or like we make a huge par save, and then it was like scrambling to try to make par on the next hole. And then literally by hole 15 or 16, when the tee shot started narrowing down and you had to use a specific person's tee shot, like then that starts playing in your head. Like there was one point I think on 17, it was like my tee shot. Like we had to either use mine or Andy's, but we were playing the strategy of like we're just taking mine on 17, and it's nerve wracking because it was like I gotta hit this, and there's water everywhere on this course, and yeah, it just didn't pan out. We just kind of crumbled there in the last 4 holes, and I think we lost by I don't remember what the
3,
score was, but 3.
74,
We lost
71.
74-71. Yeah. So, but I will say, and I'll let you guys speak on this. Team Love their 71 honestly could have been a 67. Like
mhm.
they were balling. Like them
We
3, like
went
when we,
bogey triple on the last 2 holes
Yeah, we did.
yeah, and still shot 71.
and still
I mean, that's
shot
impressive.
71.
Yeah, it's impressive. It's
Yeah.
impressive. I mean, um, you're lucky chip in, dude. We had a chance. Had you not, dude, if that ball doesn't hit that flag stick, it's off the green. But whatever, not gonna. It's over. So, needless to say, my whole side of the story is on these trips to Florida for these tournaments. I am 0-2-1, 2
Mm,
losses and a tie.
mm,
I had to make sure I
mm.
said that correctly.
That tie
So
may or may not have an asterisk beside
yeah,
it.
my home state is not good to me.
Mm.
So, anyways, Team Love, congratulations. Yeah, you guys won
Well,
again.
Matt, how you feeling, baby?
This win is brought to you by Coastal Bay. That was a fun course. I mean, it really was. We now let's set the first tee up though. All right, first tee. Team Love's going first, and Adam is kind of like your ringer off the tee. And Adam gets up. He's like, "I'm just going to drive out there and see what happens." Pulls it left. OB. So Brian gets up, he tees his ball up, pulls it left, OB, and I'm going, oh no, this is not going to be a good day. And then thankfully I put a little 5 wood out and we got going. But man, we played slow and steady. That's all we did. I
Yeah.
mean, we had a couple of good shots, but I mean, we were just playing par golf. And we got down to the kind of what you're saying, Brandon. We got down to the last 2 holes, and it was either me or Brian. I mean, because Adam just got on a fire shot, and just all of a
And we
sudden he
had
went
the
from
first 7 holes. The first
yeah
7 holes were me and you. We did
yeah no
not take a
drives.
tee
That's right.
shot of his until the 8th hole. But
Yeah
when we took it, We took his drive the next 6
All
holes.
6 of them, yeah. Because he just started, I mean, just out of nowhere, just right down the middle, over and over and over again. And so it came down to 17. It's either Brian or myself. I hit a little bit of a fade, and the wind. Of course, we didn't even talk about the wind and how bad the wind was blowing that day.
Yeah.
Um, mine was falling right, landed on the ground, kicked off into the water, and then Brian kind of pulled it left. I think had we went and done it all over again, because we just didn't even think about mine landing before it went into the water. So we went
Hmm.
and we just took a drop where Brian's was beside the cart path off of dirt. And luckily, Adam and myself, we threw 2 good shots at it, and then we went up. I think Brian made the putt there. And so we ended up using his tee shot. So my tee shot on 18, and I went for a scared tee shot. I pulled a 4 iron out rather than just going for it like I should have, and pushed it off in the woods, and we had to take another drop again, and it just unbuckled from there. It was
Yeah,
atrocious to
we went
watch.
into it with like a 4-shot lead. I think we went into 18 with a 3 or 4 shot lead, and man, we did that, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh no. And
Yeah.
then we saw y'all go into the hazard off the tee, and we were like, oh, that's fine. Then all 3 of us like chunk our what would be our so 1 and 2 out, so 3. So our 4th shot, we all chunked the
Mm-hmm.
4th shot, and then I think me and you might have chunked our 5th, and Adam
No,
kind of
we all
bladed
no no
his.
no.
Somebody bladed it over the green.
Yeah, me and you chunked. Yeah, we chunked the 5th. He pushed. He put. No, 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 no. I chunked both of y'all. He just hit a missile across the green into the bunker
Hmm.
behind it. You got up and did the exact same thing, and then I chunk it. So we had to go and
Yeah,
play that bunker shot. Well, then he hits a kind of a pretty bad bunker shot. I hit a pretty bad bunker shot as far as getting us close to the hole, and then you just absolutely just
chipped it
drained it.
in.
Stupid.
And
100%
Chipped
stupid.
it in.
we just
From our
walked off.
from our perspective, what really did it for us, like we were just so frustrated. That back nine was just so back and forth, and we like the wind was already taken out of our sails. But what really did it in for us was 2 things. The first one was we're standing on 17 tee box. It was down to either me or Andy had to take the tee shot. Blake was already used up. So we kind of already elected, since 17 was a shorter hole, that I would hit the tee shot because Andy's just the long ball hitter. And 18 was longer. So I was like, well, we'll hit 17. Problem is with 17, there's water all down the right hand side. Wind was kind of in the face off the water. And
Mm-hmm.
so the play was I was just going to hit a normal cut, let the wind hold it back and into the fairway. Well, we're waiting. We lose you guys. You guys were way off left, hitting like a crazy,
Yep, that was off the
like
dirt over there.
like a hazard shot over there, but we couldn't see all. And all of a sudden, we're watching the green, and we see a ball land on the green. And I look at Andy. I was like, "There's no way one of these jokers just hit a ball from where they just were and landed on the green." And Matt, I think it was you. You hit some crazy.
They
I
both
don't know
hit
if
the green from there.
Yeah, we both did.
yeah,
We threw
yeah,
we
that's
threw
right.
two
Yeah,
darts at
Adam
it.
hit
Yeah,
it too.
yeah.
And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And so now, like, the pressure had even intensified even more. And so I was like, all right, I got to hit a good shot. Hit the ball exactly like I wanted to. It's cutting. Wind is not helping it at all. Not even trying to push it back into the fairway. It hits right on the right edge of the fairway, takes a terrible hop right into the water. And I was like, you have got to be joking. So, anyways, we ended up taking that second shot. I think we made bogey or something on there, just scrambling. I mean, it was terrible from the get go. Well, so then we're like, at that point, we're down 3 shots going into 18, and we're like, wow, forget it. We'll just Andy, just send one. Let's just see how far you can hit it. We don't care anymore. He hits this ball. That is the hardest, furthest golf ball I've ever seen Andy hit in the times I've ever played with him. But it doesn't go straight. He placed this cut, and it is just going so far right into hazard OB. It might have cleared it for all we know and just went out into the road, but he just gave the I don't care swing. And so we were just like, whatever. So had already planned to take our third shot from the fairway, like 1 and 2 out, hitting 3, and coming out of that hazard. So we're just sitting there in the fairway, and Andy was like, "Man, should I have like tried more on that tee shot?" We're like, "No, dude, they're up by 3 with 1 to play. Who cares?" And then we see all 3 duff, then over the green. We're like, "Oh no!" And then we see both Matt and Adam skull it out of that bunker, basically go all past the hole. Like we know that was at least 2-putt range, and we're like, "No." Then that we started doing the math. We're like, "Dude, we throw this on the green and make birdie." Or I mean, make par or even bogey, like we might have a chance here. And then Brian just steps up, chips it right in. We're like, oh, there went that. So
Shine
there
them
goes
on
that
me,
again.
baby.
Yeah.
Shine them on me.
So yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, um, a winless in Florida for myself. Matt finally gets on the board. The only one that hasn't won in my home state. So that's tough. But you know, live and you learn. I'm undefeated in Alabama, and I can't. I don't know how many countless of wins I have here in Georgia. So maybe I just don't need to go back to Florida. We'll just we'll see what happens there. But anyways, now, apart from the ping pong match and then the intense golf match, we actually did go to the Players. I know we mentioned that minutes ago, but we did go to the Players. I thought it was fun. I'd been there before. I don't think Brian or Matt or Andy have ever been there before. Blake and Adam have played Sawgrass before, but they never been to the well, Adam's been to the tournament, but
Yeah.
Blake has never been to the tournament. I'd been a couple times, and I like it. It's they call it the fifth major, and it definitely had that feel for us. I thought we had a great group to follow Friday morning. Rory McIlroy, Scotty Scheffler, Xander Schauffele. I mean, literally 1, 2, and 3 in the world. Got to watch Rory chip it in on 10 to start his round. I mean, it was just cool following him and stuff. But, and again, I'll let you guys chime in on this. Having now been to the Arnold Palmer and to the Players, the Arnold Palmer is more spread out than the Players. The Players very confined, but there are way more viewing spots at the Arnold Palmer than there
Yeah.
is the Players.
Yeah.
I just like basically what it boils down to. And if anybody's listening or watching and is like, man, I really would like to go to one of those, which one should I go to? If I had the choice to go right now to one or the other, I would go back to the Arnold Palmer.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I agree with that. Now I will say this: there is nothing like 16 and 17. Like the
Yeah.
whole stadium
oh,
area.
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
you
Yeah.
could if you're going to go. I mean, I would say just sit there all day and just
Just sit
take
at
it all
17.
in.
Yeah.
But you're right. Like I was really disappointed in. It was like this. You could you could stand and watch them hit their shot, but you'd have no idea where it was going.
Mm-mm.
Or you could get out in front of them and you'd never see them hit the shot, and you just see the ball fall in front of you. So,
Yeah.
see, I'm used to at the Arnold Palmer. Now, mind you, that's the only 2 professional golf tournaments I've been to, but at the Arnold Palmer, like you can get down the fairway in front of them, watch them tee off, and you can watch the shot coming at you, and then you can go on to the green and you can watch the shots coming in. You just you can't really do that at the Players, and
Yeah.
so I found it to be kind of not very impressive from like walking the course trying to walk with those guys, but the stadium part of it is unbelievable. if
Oh,
if
yeah.
I go back to the Players, I would spend the money, try to get a seat, like to be able to sit up high in the somewhere in the stadium, whether it be over on 16 or 17, because you can see it all, um, and just watch people come around. But it was fun. I mean, it's a great atmosphere. But me personally, I would go if you're trying to go and like actually, you know, get pretty close to the guys and be able to watch multiple holes at one time, be able to take in a lot of shots. It's hard to beat Bay Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so Adam and I we stayed for a good chunk of the day. Matter of fact, I didn't even walk the entire course. We spent a good chunk of our time right there at 16 and 17. We were able to get close, and I mean, we were you could have tossed a water bottle to the guys from where we were standing, and so we got to watch them tee off on 17. And I think we watched probably good gracious, probably a good 6, 7, 8 groups tee off on 17, and then of course watching all of them come in on 16. And it was definitely that part there. I will say was everything I had hoped that it would be. I'd always wanted to go to that course. I always wanted to see that in person, and then to be able to just watch those guys just so effortlessly,
Oh
just
yeah.
little draw after little draw, just over and over like robots. But then to watch, I mean, a couple of them almost near ace in the hole was a really cool experience to see. But
Mm-hmm.
once we kind of got out away from that, and then you guys are right. Like everything, it didn't take us long to go find you guys. I mean, that's how short and close this place was.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
no,
And so
it's pretty tight. It definitely is
yeah,
pretty tight. But I just know like the big difference for me, what I thought was a game changer is like now that I've been to both and really have paid attention to both and walked the entirety of each course. Like I know the big difference is like a Friday round at the Arnold Palmer and the Friday round at the Players vastly different. Friday round at the Arnold Palmer, barely anybody there. Thursday and Friday. Friday at the Friday at the Players felt like a Sunday. Like it was
Mm-hmm.
crowded. And that was
hmm
just the Friday crowd. I couldn't imagine what the Saturday crowd was like or even
Mm-hmm.
the Sunday crowd. I bet it was
Yeah.
ridiculous. But Friday was insane. There's just so many people. And like you go from that to like I just remember specific moments at the Arnold Palmer on a couple years is where like the one year we were sitting there right up on the green and I could listen like as good as you can hear right now, Jordan Spieth and his caddy, Mikey, talking to each other about a ruling and talking about a shot. And I remember, Sahith Thagala doing the same thing. You could hear him talking to his cat because you can get right up on him. Like at the Players, you couldn't do that because of all the
yeah,
people that are there. And then even like
Mm-hmm.
if you follow like a key group at the Arnold Palmer, you still can get really, really close if you want to. And there's specific spots there at the Arnold Palmer. You can sit up, I don't remember what hole it is, but it's near the lake holes, but you can stand up basically on that hill and watch them on the par five, watch them come down on the par four, and then watch them tee off on the par five around the lake. And
Mm-hmm.
hmm
like you just don't get that vantage point from the Players. So
Yeah.
again, if there's anybody that it wants to go and be a part of a professional golf tournament, I would say go do it. It's awesome.
hmm
If you want a great tournament to like get your feet wet, to see big time names in it, definitely do the Arnold Palmer.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
and I
Yeah.
and I say I think my other thing that I would say was simply that what I like about the Arnold Palmer is the grandstands. I mean, you have places to
Mm-hmm.
sit and to watch.
Yeah,
18
that are
green
free.
is a yeah, it's a fun place.
Yeah.
Um, that was not the case with the Players. You're standing pretty
No.
much
Yeah.
the entire time, unless you take a chair and go sit down on 17. Um,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and so I think if you're going to go, I would say out of those two, definitely the Arnold Palmer, especially if you're not used to standing for that length of time, because that is a long time that you're out there. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
so, but I think both of them kind of have a little bit of a perk. But yeah, the Arnold Palmer is definitely a lot more fun. I think from a perspective, like from a person's point of view.
Hey,
Mm-hmm.
the Arnold Palmer has better Uber drivers too. You
I
gotta be
tried to
careful of
find
them.
that guy's name. I pulled up the Uber app the other day thinking I would like find his name. I want to say it was Austin. I may be just way off on that, but whoever he was, the man in the white Escalade. If you're still alive, if you're
yeah,
still alive,
yeah,
Yeah.
God bless you, brother, because you drove like a maniac, and
yeah.
and
And
we
y'all put
were
me in the front seat too.
we
Golly.
Yeah.
were fearful
Yeah.
for our lives.
Yeah, that was bad. That was bad. So, I think that was when we finally determined because that was our first year all together. I think because after that we haven't done it since. We've done parking passes since. So
Hmm.
I think Austin or whoever he was, he confirmed in us like, yeah, we're never doing Ubers
Yeah,
again. We're getting
yeah.
parking passes no matter where we go, and no matter what tournament. So, well, cool deal. So yeah, the Players was fun. Ponte Vedra Beach, that whole area, is pretty cool. So, but again, if you want to go on any type of golf tournament, the Players would be great, but Arnold Palmer's, man, it's just kind of a one of a kind tournament. It's really, really cool. So, but if you're looking to go to a tournament, Arnold Palmer's definitely the way to go. Switching gears here, do want to talk about some of just kind of the stuff that we have going on, some of the stuff that we have planned now that the podcast is back, now that we have some different people with us, some new faces, and some people that you are going to enjoy seeing week in and week out. I will say the podcast is, we're hoping, we always record these on Monday night. So like right now is Monday night. And so our goal is to record these every week, Monday night, and it'll look different. We'll probably have like all 5 of us in here. We may have an extra person. It may just be 2 of us. Like, you're always going to get a mixed bag. You never know what you're going to get on any given week because, again, we all have lives. We're all busy. We're all doing different things. Not all of us get to go on a cruise ship like Blake all the time. Shout out to Blake. But so it's always going to look different. But the goal is to record on Monday nights, and then we want to be able to post those at least by Wednesday. So a good little midweek podcast for you. You get to get the enjoyment, get the entertainment, have a laugh, and you just get to listen to some nonsense from guys that don't need to be sharing the nonsense. But, here we are. So you're listening, and we're thankful for that. Now, again, I'll reiterate what Brian said earlier. If you're just a listener, what are you doing with your life, my boy? Hit that little subscribe button. We need that.
Ding.
That helps us make more of this. So
And give
hit that
Coastal
subscribe
Bay a
button.
follow, and make sure
Yeah,
that they
yeah.
continue to sponsor.
Okay. Coastal Bay is not a sponsor unless they want to be.
I mean, hey, I'm just
But
saying.
and then so the podcast is going to be a very steady thing. Now, we do have some golf content that we want to try to bring back. You'd have to let us know what your thoughts are on that, because we do want to start bringing back some golf content. Brian has been whipping up some crazy games that we've practiced, we've tested, and my favorite one that we've tested so far is the no dice. That one can ruin some friendships real fast, but no dice has been good. You'll get to hear more about that later. But Brian, what are your thoughts on just content golf wise that we have on the horizon for
Yeah.
us?
So we were pretty open back last year when the golf content kind of stopped and we switched gears towards the podcast. We were really open about how cumbersome that had become for us. And I mean, like I said, we're still hanging out with each other. We're playing golf and we talk about it. And one of the things or a couple of the things that really um, kind of hit me, I guess, with the original experience was to put out shorter videos, right? Because I mean, if we're being honest, nobody wants to watch us play 18 holes. We ain't that good, right?
Yeah.
It's all about having a good time, doing creative stuff, um, being competitive with one another. I think that can be entertaining for some people. So everything that we're planning to do, right? And we're not really making any promises with timelines at this point because, quite frankly, we are testing a lot of different games to see, what's what. We've tested Scrambled Scramble. That one is pretty entertaining. No dice, and I know that means absolutely nothing to the people that are listening. But when we're able to bring these videos to you, what we're gearing for is like a lot of like 3-hole 1v1 type stuff. If we go 2v2 or 3v3 this summer, when some of the other guys are able to come out with us, we may put out some 6-hole stuff. We're not going to see a lot of content where we're playing 9 holes, 18 holes. The reason for that is our goal. One thing that was just absolutely whipping us was we were trying to film every single Wednesday, right? And that's really not feasible for us. So the plan is to one Wednesday out of the month is to make it like a film day, right? And the goal, like if let's just say we're filming 3 or 4 different types of games, but they're all 3-hole games, right? We can get 6, 12 videos out of one day,
Yeah.
right? So what you're going to see coming from us, if we're able to put it together and get it out to you, is going to be some shorter golf content that really is not geared towards how great we are at golf, because we're just not, right? We're decent, I would say. Well, I guess the statistics say we're above average, but we think we're decent. Okay, so we're going to put out some shorter golf content, some creative stuff, some really outside the box type stuff that we hope can stick and people will enjoy watching. But again, we're not putting a ton of pressure on ourselves with that, but it is coming, and we are thinking through it and planning for it, and we're excited about it because, I mean, it's not that we didn't enjoy filming golf content. It just really became too much. And so I think
Yeah.
if we pare it back a little bit and go for some shorter content, I think we're going to enjoy it more, which I think in turn will make the people that are watching enjoy it more. It's a lot easier to watch a 7 to 10 minute video than it is a 30-minute video, right?
Yeah,
So,
100%. And what really happened to us too that first time when we kind of switched from making the golf content to the podcast, one of the reasons too was because when we first started making the golf videos, man, we were enjoying it. We were having fun. The Orlando Showdown the first year, man, that was a battle. We had a great time. Sucks that it ended in a tie, but it ended in a tie, and that's
Yeah, that's
is what it
true.
is.
Yeah.
But yeah. But then there's some other content that we made that we just enjoyed, and then as the time went on, it was like, dang, now it's like, oh great, guys, we got to film today, and then it just kind of felt like a burden, and then it was like, man, we don't want it to be that, and so then we jumped to the podcast, enjoying that. So we're gonna try to bring the best of both worlds to you guys without, again, just downright draining ourselves out,
and you
and
guys give
not.
us some ideas too. Like I know, like YouTube is overloaded with golf content, but if there's something out there that you like that you would like to
Yeah.
see us do or try, we're a lot of the challenges and different stuff like that, hole in one challenges, things like that, or we'll do whatever, but definitely shorter content. That's what we're going
Yeah.
after.
Oh, 100%. 100%. So it'll be good. So, all of those listeners out there that have yet to subscribe, yeah, let us know. Let us know. I'll even throw out a challenge. I want to throw out a
Mm.
challenge. I haven't even told them this yet. But this group is growing. The ForeBros tribe is growing. So, there's 5 of us so that we have a little rotation. And I know in the summer, it's going to grow a little bit more. We got, Berkey Boy's going to be hanging around. And
He's an
uh,
adopted son.
yeah, we keep him around. But I will say this: if there is a group of 4 guys, 4 listeners
Mm.
that think that they have what it takes to take on 4 of the ForeBros, we're not going to tell you which 4 are going to show up, but we're going to bring 4 of the ForeBros. You know, 6 of them already. If you want to challenge us, you let us know. You hit us up on a DM. You know where to find us. You know where we play. 18 holes. If you want to catch the smoke, you can catch the smoke. I'm feeling froggy this year,
See,
boys. I'm coming off of surgery. I'm feeling good.
there
Okay.
you go. There you go. You just advertised for an 18-hole video after I just said
I'm not
short
making a
content.
video. It's not a video. It's not a
We would have
video.
to film it. We
We're
would
not
have to.
filming.
If
Why?
somebody, I mean, if somebody challenged us, how would we not film it?
Because
It's
just in
just,
case
hey,
they
here
do
you
beat
go.
us, they never
Hey,
know if we did.
you
Six,
could podcast
six
it.
3-hole videos.
Yep.
6 3-hole
6
videos.
3-hole videos. What? Why would you do that? I was thinking like part 1, part 2, part 3. Yeah. If,
Part
if there's a
four,
group
part
of 4
five,
guys that
part six.
Yeah, if they want to catch the smoke, they can catch the smoke. You just let us know. You hit us up on the DM. Just give us a location. We'll show up. We ain't scared.
Just like
Honest.
that. Just
Yeah,
like
just
that.
like that. Just like that.
Mm. Stay
Um,
strong.
yeah, stay strong. Speaking of not staying strong, I have a funny story I want to tell you guys. So recently I've been on this kick, especially after the surgery, right? The surgery kind of did a number on
Kick.
me physically. Yeah, no pun intended. This knee surgery has done a number on me. I can no longer run. I can no longer jog. This is part of the results of the surgery, but that's okay. Not that I'm like not like capable. Like I myself could run or jog if I could, but my leg will not allow me to. Like it would, like doctor said, if I tried, it would like ruin everything that's in there. So no jogging, no running. So here I am coming off this surgery. I was like, all right, I gotta lose some weight. I'm I'm going in a direction I don't want to go. And this is the biggest I've ever been. And I was like, I need to lose some weight. Even it's bad when my kids call me big old That's their name for me, big old dad. So that's not good.
Mm.
But anyway, so I was like, well, I can't really. I'm limited on the workouts that I can do. I can't like jog the neighborhood or anything like that. I was like, let me try something I haven't tried yet. I was like, let me do some like intermittent fasting. I'll do some fasting. So,
Mm.
so last night I found me a good fasting app, and I said, you know what? This is it. I'll do it. And this fasting app's kind of cool. It just has a timer. And like the minimum time that you could fast is 12 hours. The max is like 22. That's for like professionals. Not a professional. I can't go that long. So I was like, we'll just start at 12 hours and we'll work our way down. So I did it after dinner, started the little clock. And even when your phone's off or locked or whatever, it'll still run the timer and it'll notify you when the 12 hours is up, and then you can eat. And then after you eat, you start the timer again. So I did it last night, and I still can I have 1 cup of black coffee in the mornings, and then I'll just drink water during the day and just won't eat until the timer goes off. So Jesse and I had some stuff to do today, and we went into town, did all of our stuff that we needed to do, and then it was getting close to lunchtime. Well, timer goes off. It's been 12 hours. I was like, oh, it's time to eat. So I ate, started the timer again. And so now, if math is correct, next time I technically would be allowed to eat, the earliest would be like midnight tonight. And well, about 4:30, 5 o'clock rolled around, and like I normally do, a little afternoon snack. I'm ready for a little afternoon snack. And at our house, we have like a little snack drawer for the kids. We pack lunches. So I walk over there and I grab some snacks, like a little package of Nutter Butters. Those are my favorite
Mm.
snack. I grab them, and then it dawns on me. I was like, wait a second. I was like, I'm fasting. I can't do that. So I grabbed my phone. I was like, well, maybe the timer was like fast forward a little bit. I checked the timer. This nowhere close to midnight, obviously. It's 4:30 in the afternoon. So, like every other person would do, I deleted the app and I ate the Nutter Butters. So no, no more fasting for me. That didn't last. That didn't even last 24 hours. So I just, man, I can't. I got a problem. I got a problem. Brian, you're the workout guy. I mean, I got a problem, dude. I can't.
And that is embarrassing on so many levels. I
I don't want
mean, the amount of weakness that you showed in that moment
to, dude. If you
is
could have seen me in my kitchen, I'm literally holding the Nutter Butters in one hand and my phone in the other. I'm disappointed as I'm looking at the timer. I'm like, nah, heck with it.
that you're
You
at a
have to,
cross. I mean, you are literally at a crossroads in life, 12 hours into a fasting, and you delete the app.
yeah, yeah. I just
I,
felt like as my best friends, I got to like admit that to you. Like, and
I mean, you could have
I'm
at
coming to
least
you
just
saying I need help.
you should have just restarted the timer after you ate it. I mean, let's just be honest and just
so
flat out.
let me wrap my mind around it though. You download the app. You ate lunch, or did you eat breakfast?
I didn't eat breakfast. I'm not a big breakfast guy,
When
anyways.
did when did you first eat before the Nutter Butters? When did you eat?
I ate at like noon, 12:30.
You made it 4 hours.
Yeah.
I I mean, I could understand you ate an early breakfast, right? Let's say you ate at 7 a.m. and you can't eat until 7.
Nah, yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's a struggle, like hanging on to supper. You ate at lunch, and let me ask you this: what did
Don't
you
ask me
eat
what
for
I ate.
lunch?
There it
What did
is.
you eat? Where'd you go?
I I went Mr. Chick. I had the dip
See,
strip.
this for anybody out there, just a public service announcement. If you want to commit to fasting, if you're going to eat fried chicken and French fries, don't bother. Just eat.
I
Okay?
thought I thought the whole point of fasting is you could fast for like a long period of time, but you could still eat whatever you wanted to eat.
No,
That's the whole point.
that's one of the worst things you can do for your body. I
What?
mean,
Just drinking water.
you
I've drank.
either feed yourself good stuff, or if you're gonna I mean, what? So you eat a dozen Krispy Kreme donuts for breakfast,
No,
and then you're like, "Oh God, I'm fasting now."
no.
No,
My
Amen.
typical day is I wake up. I wake up and I drink. I get one cup of uh, black coffee. Don't put anything in it. Just Black Rifle coffee. And I drink the coffee. I'm good till lunch, and then I'll eat a lunch, whatever that may be, and then I eat dinner,
Whatever
and
that
then
may be. You know exactly what it is.
but my biggest problem is, I've always been told by people that are healthier than me not to drink your sugars, but to eat your sugars. And
Well,
so I've had 2 water bottles a day. That's the most water bottles I've had in a week. So that's a problem. Like I'm man enough
when they
to
tell
admit
you to
that.
eat your sugars, they're not talking about donuts.
No, 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 no. I know. But so I'm just coming to you guys with accountability, asking you to keep me accountable. Like I didn't make it very far when I set this fasting app at 11, and as Coastal Bay Gummy Worms is making another appearance. I mean,
I'm getting to start
Brian, we
shifting.
need help, man. That
I'm
I
so
need help.
disgusted right now. Like I'm trying to just smile, but I'm so disgusted. Like I
Yeah,
mean, just you just get back in the gym,
yeah.
do what you can do, work up a little sweat, right, and just don't eat yourself into oblivion.
I
You're
just
you're still in the metabolism phase. See, I virtually have no metabolism left, so I have to manufacture it, right? You're
mm,
still young enough. You can just get the juices flowing, get some blood flowing. You're going to burn calories. It's just a calorie deficit gain. You got to take in less calories, right?
I'm trying.
And burn some on top of it, and you'll be just fine. You don't have to fast. You don't have to put yourself through the panic of a 4 hour fast. Okay, we don't need to put that kind of pressure on yourself. Um,
I just can't
Gosh,
believe
that's embarrassing. Like
like
I
I thought.
honestly, I felt
Yeah.
like, I mean, 10 hours, 11 hours, like pushing the envelope. You made it 4 hours on a belly full of Mr. Chick.
Yeah, I
You
mean, like
made it 4 hours.
you know, I, as I'm standing there with the Nutter Butters and I'm looking at the timer and it's like, nowhere close. There's 8 hours left in this deal. That's when I realized I was like, yeah, I got a problem. I got a problem. And I just deleted the app. Can I just say though, the Nutter Butters, they were banging. They were
But
good. I
but
mean,
no,
I don't know what you want me to say.
do you realize what happened in your brain when you're sitting there saying, I have a problem. I have a problem. And
Yeah.
you do. You had
Yeah.
a problem right in front of you, and you decided that the problem was the app.
Yeah.
You
100%.
you
Amen.
decided the
100%.
app was the problem, not the
I was
handful
like,
of Nutter Butters.
yeah, it was like an app I downloaded. You're going to tell me when I can eat? Nah, kick rocks, dude. Delete that thing. Boy, Nutter Butters. Boom. Gone. Down.
Did you
Down the
did you have to
hatch.
do the
Quick.
whole? Did you have to do the
Anyways.
testing at the beginning of the fasting app, like the little quiz? Was it one
No,
of those
no, it
apps?
didn't. Yeah, I bought a no, because like that was
Oh,
a lot of the apps I
you
was looking at. You
bought?
had to like buy subscriptions for. Nah, give me that free one with just a timer.
Oh,
That's all
okay.
I wanted. So I didn't even start off on the right foot. I didn't even start off good.
I was about to say
Yeah,
if
I
you
I
was
did
bought
destined
see
for
if
a
you
failure
bought
from the
the app,
jump.
that would have been different. Jeez.
I
I'd have
did
been
see a
well.
video. I
Maybe that's
think
what I
I
need to
saw
do.
it. I saw a video just a day or so ago about this guy. Like he lives on basically constant fasting, and he was talking about how the body goes through 3 phases in a day. And for him, he does ingestion. He eats in the morning, and that's it. He
Yeah.
eats, and then his body goes through digestion, and then it cleanses. And he was talking about all the benefit. Like I ain't doing that, but the dude was. I mean, he wasn't no skinny joker. I mean, he was jacked. But intermittent fasting for a period of time can be extremely beneficial. But if you can't make it 4 hours, it ain't for you, my brother.
I guess everybody's
And if you're
definition
gonna eat
on
Mr. Chick in between, it ain't gonna do it for you.
I guess the definition of intermittent is different for everybody. So mine just
Yeah.
happens to be 4 hours. Yours can be 12. That's fine. Anyways, well, now that I got you good and bothered, why don't we bring up everybody's favorite segment to end our night, to end the episode of Brian is Bothered. They're here. You've had 6 months to sit on this one.
Oh boy.
So Matt and I haven't heard this, so let's hear it. Brian is bothered. I don't know if it's. I hope you don't say like, let me talk about some fasting.
Yeah, I'm bothered by people that quit intermittent fasting after 4 hours.
Yeah.
That's what I'm bothered by. No, I mean, out of all the things that I'm bothered by, because there are so many, this one has just really hit home recently, and we're kind of going through an issue in the ForeBros family. Okay,
Mm,
um, I am bothered I'll be broad and then specific. I'm bothered by pranks and liars. And more specifically, I cannot stand April Fools. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
So let me just break this down. Last year, I got straight up punked on April Fools about, wasn't that when you tried to tell me that y'all were having another kid?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I
Okay.
remember that.
I'm hook, line, and sinker. Congratulations, man. And in the
We
back of
were
my head,
both
I'm
down in
thinking,
Orlando, and
yeah.
you had
Oh
told your
yeah,
kids.
I told, yes, that's what it was. I told my kids, they were so excited. Everything just total liars, right?
Yeah, that's
And
bad.
so learn my lesson, right? Don't trust these people. Simple lesson to learn. Okay. So I'm away last week. On March 31st, I get a text from Andy that says, essentially, I don't have it word for word, but he basically says, schedule at work changed. I'm out on Wednesdays. Now, I want you to understand something. Andy's one of my very best friends. Me and Andy have been playing golf on Wednesdays for 8 years. 8 years. And you send me a text. You send me a text message that just says, basically, you might as well have just sent me a text that said it's over, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, my response to it is try again. I know it's the day before April Fool's, and you know that I never would fall for that on April Fool's Day, so you can kick rocks. So now, even at the recording of this podcast, I am still not 100% sure that I'm not being played. But if
Yeah.
I am, I want to go on record and say I'm coming for everybody involved. If it's you, if you've lied to me, if you've put on a straight face, I've went to a lot of different sources. I've asked a lot of different questions. So far, everything appears to be checking out that the schedule has changed. But I'm just telling you, if this comes back with mud on Brian's face, it is on. It is on.
Mm.
Is that a threat? Yes, it is a threat. I'm sick and tired of being punked. I'm tired of trusting people that I have decided in my mind that I can't trust, but I continue to dole out trust. So I'm bothered by it. I've lost sleep over it. I honestly, as we sit here right now, 2 days from the recording of this podcast, I have no idea who's showing up on Wednesday to play golf. I don't even know if Blake's on a cruise. You know what I'm saying? Like this has
Can't trust
gotten
anything.
this has gotten so deep at this point. I don't even know if Blake is on a cruise. Okay,
He's
so
so paranoid, he has no idea.
I'm bothered. I'm paranoid. I don't like pranks. I don't like April Fools. It is the most ridiculous thing. Even my office, one of my sister-in-law works with me. She calls me on April Fools. I'm sitting in the Great Wolf Lodge with my family, trying to just enjoy some TLC. Okay, get a phone call. Right, it's the office. This must be serious. She tells me that her little space heater in her office um, caught on fire
Oh,
and that
jeez.
it flamed up the wall. Everything was fine. Michael he put it out with the fire extinguisher, like nothing's on fire. And
I didn't know
I'm
this.
just sitting here taking this. I'm just taking it in. I'm literally sitting at an indoor water park in this lawn chair, just like phone up to my ear, taking it in. And then it hit me. They're playing me. I'm so encumbered in the Andy situation at this point that I didn't even have the wherewithal to pick up that this too
Yeah.
was an April Fool's joke. So I'm over it. Stop pranking me. Stop lying to me. I have trust issues now, and I'm sorry, but I'm bothered.
I will say, I think Brian likes pranks, but he doesn't like it when he's the victim of the prank. You
See,
know,
but who have I pranked?
you prank all of us every week with your golf game. It's a joke. Sorry, you
See,
walked
that's the
into
kind of
that
stuff
one.
I'm talking about, man.
See,
You can't trust nobody. you think you think you have a good set of friends, and then I mean, it just
Oh man, that was an alley oop to myself. Boom. Um, no, yeah, I
we
just, I
pranked
mean,
me and Andy pranked y'all one time. We told you he wasn't coming, and then we showed up playing
no,
music
yeah,
on the speaker. Okay,
yeah, no,
who does that
no,
harm?
no,
You told
you
me you were
prank,
having a kid. I
no,
told my
you,
family.
no, you publicly humiliated me one day. You and Andy both. I send you a picture of because we all have different Sunday swagger shirts, and I was like, "Hey, I'm wearing this Sunday swagger shirt. Want to make sure that you bozos don't wear the same shirt." I show up in the shirt that I sent them a picture in, and again, this is partially probably my fault. I probably shouldn't have sent the picture to begin with, but I was thinking ahead, being proactive. I walk into Maryland's, and here they are, both matching me. The three of us had to play golf matching like a bunch of goobers. And that, see, I didn't want that.
See,
And
but
you
there's
did
no
that.
harm done there. There's no harm. I have people telling me my office is burning down, that a child is being born, and that the schedule that I've known for 8 years is no more. Do you not see the difference?
I mean, kinda, a
I,
little. I mean, I don't
the
know. I
moral of
just,
the story is I'm bothered and I'm over it. And if you're involved in any way, I'm coming for you. That's all you
I,
need to know.
Mm,
I'm gonna bow myself out.
mm.
I can say without a shadow of a doubt that I'm not involved in the Andy shenanigans. I think, I don't know that whole ordeal, man. That I guess we'll see what happens Wednesday. I
The
plan on being
only
there.
the only person that I'm trusting in this situation, and maybe she'll hear this, is Andy's wife, Kelly. I don't think Kelly would lie to me. And she told me it's legit. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be in a bad place if I find out that she was in on it.
Oh,
I'm gonna be in a bad place. I'm
see, yeah,
telling you,
because
the,
Kelly's
the
always the straight and narrow.
she won't let him goof around on her, right?
Yeah.
If he has somehow gotten her in on this, I don't know what's next. I don't. And I'm not
Oh,
responsible for it. I won't take responsibility for it. But my hope and my prayer is that she's telling me the truth.
I would say if she's in on it and then it turns out to that comes to light, I think all bets are off for Brian. I mean, it's
Oh,
going to
it's
be
over.
it's a no holds bars kind of
It's over.
prank war after that. Yeah.
I
Um,
won't ever trust anybody again. Ever.
Mm.
My wife will be like, I love you. I'll be like, you sure?
Jeez.
Oh my goodness. Well, gentlemen, what a way to come back. What a
We're
way to
back.
come back.
We're
We're
back.
so back. We're so back. We never left, but we're back.
Yeah.
I never left. I've
Thank you
been
guys
here
so
every
much for
Monday.
watching the ForeBros podcast. Yeah, it's just been sitting in the same hotel room for
Yeah,
every Monday, just
every
waiting and
Monday.
waiting and waiting. Um, Gentlemen, thank you so much for being a part of this. We'll hopefully you'll be seeing this on Wednesday or whenever you see it, and we'll be back next week. We'll have some more stuff coming up here in the near future from all of us at the Four Bros. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching, and we will see you in the next one. Peace out.